So thank you everyone for joining us today for Autodesk 2018 courseware updates and more. We've got some new titles to share with you. Today we have Rhonda Wiley, our courseware development manager for ASCENT, and Jennifer McMillan, instructional design projects manager, and they're going to be speaking to us about all the exciting things that are happening with the Autodesk 2018 courseware. So ladies, I'll pass it over to you. I think Rhonda, you're up first.
Great. Thank you, Karine, and hello and welcome everyone. We really appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend with us to get an update on the release schedule for our 2018 titles. Like Karine said, time's moving quickly. We're almost at the end of April and we have a lot to share with you today. So our goal is to make this a fairly quick conversation, but just to give you some insight into what we have going on and what we've got coming down the pike. So, as Karine mentioned, I'm joined today by Jennifer McMillan, who's our Instructional Design Projects Manager, and she is also the author and our resident expert for our Inventor, Navisworks, Plan 3D titles, among others. So Jennifer and I are going to be reviewing the ASCENT 2018 release roadmap, which is now out and published, and we're going to be highlighting a few new titles that we actually have recently released just prior to the 2018 titles as well. We'll be glad, as Karine said, to take your questions, and we'll be doing that at the end, but if you think of something as we're going along, please feel free to put it in the chat or the Q&A windows, and we'll circle back to that when we get to the end. For those of you who may not know us that well, ASCENT has been recognized by Autodesk under their authorized publisher program. For us to participate in this, we are required to meet a strict set of guidelines set by them, including a minimum volume of published content. We have to adhere to learning objectives that they've designated, and also some specific technical and quality guidelines. Additionally, our relationship with Autodesk enables us to begin looking at upcoming changes late in the year, in the December-January timeframe. And then that gives us a chance to then get started updating the content so that we can be ready to publish it as soon as the software starts releasing. And we try to do that for our core fundamentals courses for the different software packages. Our development team has already been hard at work, and so over the next several months we're going to have more than 70 titles that are going to be published. So we've got a lot going on, so let's take a look to see what they've been up to already. So we'll start here first in the lineup with our AutoCAD design titles. And, you know, after all these years, AutoCAD still remains one of our most highly demanded title. So we've continued with these, our typical titles that we offer. We've got the Autocad Fundamentals title. Typically when we're doing releases, along with the fundamentals for some of the other, like Revit and Inventor software that we generally try to get out at a first release as the software is starting to come out, to make sure we're timing that with the new software version. These titles were released at the same time as the software in March. There were not a whole lot of changes in AutoCAD 2018 this year, so that in turn allowed us to complete the updates pretty quickly. And I'm happy to say, as you can see here, that all but one of those titles has been released already. So we just have one still yet to come, our AutoCAD 3D drawing and modeling metric version. So that's going to be due out in the July timeframe. And as you can see here, we have a couple different units of measure for the AutoCAD titles. Just to mention that we have mixed units, which is a blend of imperial and metric, or we have a strictly metric-only version if you prefer that. Moving on to our building and architecture titles, Revit's a category that we've made a big effort historically to provide some metric versions. So you'll see with these, we've got both imperial and metric versions. In regards to the release dates, I have received a question prior to this session just asking why the dates for the advanced level courses tend to be later in the year. So just to give you some insight, in prioritizing, we first look at the volume sold in the previous year for each of our titles. We then also look at where the changes in the software have the greatest impact in the training guides. And then from there, we then look at the time we need to take to make the changes in the updates. So all of that information goes into creating this schedule that you see in front of you. And something else that you may not be aware of, but we wanted to let you know that we do also take into consideration special needs. So if you have events planned or, special training sessions planned through the year that require specific titles, please let us know as early as possible. We have some flexibility in our planning, so it's possible that we might be able to fit, certain titles in earlier in the development schedule. And as always, I'll just throw out the caveat that the dates, we try to stick to the schedule that we've laid out initially as closely as we can, but our dates are subject to change. Whoop, sorry. Jumped ahead way too far there. So you may have noticed here that we had one new title, a new category in the Revit section rather, Revit for Landscape Architecture. This title was recently released in the 2017 version, and we will also be updating it for 2018. This training guide is designed to teach you the Revit functionality, which focuses on creating, documenting full 3D project models for an urban environment. The project that actually was used in the course is what we call Urban Garden Towers, and it's an actual project provided to us by SWA Bosley for a new housing tower that's got a motor court, a park-like area over a garage, and even a rooftop club with 2 pools in it. So we appreciate them working with us to pull this project together. And this guide, again, is designed for those that may not be using Revit on a daily basis, but they really need to get up to speed with it so they can collaborate with those who are using it regularly. And then we'll jump over to our infrastructure and plant titles. We've got, as you can see here, 3 courses for Civil 3D. We've got the Fundamentals course, Civil 3D for surveyors, and grading. The Civil 3D Fundamentals course, literally as we speak, is being processed and set up on our store, so we're expecting that to be out and available at least by Friday, potentially before then. The metric version of the Fundamentals course is not very far behind, so it's probably going to be early May that we'll have that one out for you as well. One item to note, we've got Infraworks 2018 Fundamentals. That's coming out in June, but before we do that, we're going to first release a 2017.3 version of the 2017 course to include some changes that were made in the software, and so that addition will then facilitate the 2018 update, and we'll get both of those out to you in the next couple of months. MAP and Plant 3D are due out later this year. And so with that, I'm going to pass it over to Jennifer to give you an expert overview on some additional titles that we've got coming.
Yeah, I wanted to just spend some time talking about some of the kind of the mechanical side of things and to talk about the visualization and review topics. So the very first one on this list is 3ds Max Design, and this is a course that's actually going to be probably one of the most substantially changed courses with 2018. So with the release of 2018, Autodesk has made some really major changes because what they've done is they've taken out the kind of free use of the mental ray renderer. So they've partnered and purchased actually a company called Solid Angle. It was probably around April of last year, and they are now incorporating their renderer in as kind of the high-end renderer, and it's called Arnold. And with that change, it will substantially change our book. So if you're a trainer out there that's listening and use this book, you'll definitely want to pay attention to that book when it's released in terms of the major changes. And you know, our goal when we release that book later next month will be that we'll post definitely a blog post on it, and if we can get together a webcast as well to try and specifically talk about that book, we'll do that with the developer. So some major changes coming there. Some additional in terms of visualization is a showcase title. Right now we don't have that on the schedule. It's a pretty short book, so it's kind of one of those titles that we try and fit in when we can. So that'll be coming in the coming year. And then finally, I'm mentioning here is a Novice Workbook, and this is a brand new title for us that we released actually in March of this year. So it's Novice Works in a BIM workflow. And what I want to do now is I just want to talk to you a little bit more specifically about this training guide. Rhonda, if you could change the slide. Perfect. So what we were really excited about in this title is that it's a cross-discipline book. So we bring together civil files, a Revit architecture, a Revit structural file, as well as even an Inventor manufacturing model. And we bring it all together when we consolidate those models into one Novice Works file. And then using that one model, we take the user through the entire workflow where they would use the inquiry tools available in Novice Works and the communication tools like clash detection, timeliner, animator, those types of tools to really predict and communicate the whole entire project. So we're pretty excited about this book. It's now available in 2017, and it's on the schedule to update for 2018, and that version will be coming out soon. In terms of manufacturing specifically, we have a couple titles at the top that are the AutoCAD-based courses. You can see the electrical as well as mechanical, so those are coming out shortly as well. I myself, as Corinne mentioned at the beginning of the call, focus most of my efforts on the Inventor software. So you can see here that we've got a lot of titles available already. Our fundamentals level title, our Introduction to Solid Modeling, came out when the software was released in March. I've also gotten the advanced part and advanced assembly books done, as well as sheet metal, and iLogic is kind of like the civil book. It's at the printer right now and should be available before the end of the week as well. And we'll be working towards getting the rest of those books done before the end of the year. And the last one on this list is a Fusion title as well. That's something also new to our repertoire. We released that kind of the middle to the end of last year. So I do want to talk a little bit about that. But if we could first focus on 5 Inventor titles, actually. This is new and something we released in the last number of months. And what we've done is we've taken the content, so it's not any new content for us, but it's material taken from our advanced part modeling and the advanced assembly modeling class. And we've taken that material and combined them into 5 much shorter courses, and they're really focused titles. And the goal of each of those is about a 1-day worth of content, but it's allowing you as a user or as an instructor to teach focused content on each of these titles. So you can see there's 5 titles listed here, a number of different things, and we talk about modeling. So in that very first one, design tools and strategies, is simply all the modeling tools that are available in those courses. Design variations and representation, so we talk about the representation tools, we talk about iParts and iAssemblies and iMates and things like that will make your design process much more efficient. Presenting your designs, so again, presenter tools, studio, that type of thing in that course. Surface and freeform, pretty self-explanatory there, and as well working with imported data. So importing your data, the tools that are available there, as well as some of the new DWG underlay content that's available. So we're really excited about these courses. We've already had a lot of people really commenting that they love this idea. For trainers out there, this is, you can teach them individually as one class, but what's nice here is you can also, if you're offering public classes, you can offer them as 5 separate days and just overlap them one after another, and they cover all that content that's in the advanced part and assembly modeling. I have this mentioned, it's released for 2018, but we also have them all out for 2017 as well. So if you're still in 17, those are also available. And then finally for me, Fusion. So we released this book kind of at the end of last year, and what our main goal on this book was to focus a new user and allow them to learn Fusion to complete the certification exam that Autodesk has made available. So the main topics that are in this certification guide are covered in this guide. So we cover, the interface, getting to know the software, sketching, part modeling, the multi-component modeling. So that's kind of the assembly design, but they call it more multi-component modeling. Drawing environment, and then as well the simulation. So it does just basically an analysis, a very basic high-level analysis to teach people kind of that objective for the exam. And what's kind of unique about this course is that we've embedded 70 different CAD Learning videos directly in the course. So it really helps a new user as they're going through the course to select on this video, watch the video to help explain the content a little bit more. Just like any of other classes, our Inventor classes or any of the others, lots of practice exercises. We have about 40 of them in the course. And if you were to use this training guide to teach a classroom setting, it's about 24 hours. So it's probably about 3 days worth of training that you could cover with this book. So this book is available on Amazon as well as our ASCENT eStore. In terms of buying hard copy books with this, inside of that hard copy book there's information in there to contact us to get access to the online course so that you can actually view those 70 videos. Or you can purchase the ebook directly from our eStore as well, which gives you the ebook where you can actually manually click inside the book to launch those videos. So we've had a lot of great excitement about this book. One of the big challenges we have with this software, it's all cloud-based, so Autodesk is constantly updating it. So we are constantly reviewing this book and updating it with any changes and new functionality, that type of thing. Again, we're keeping to, for the most part, the objectives, but Autodesk has been updating drawing significantly, so we're including all those updates in our book. If you've purchased the ebook or through the course online, that book is automatically updated with the updates that we do. Hard copy books, of course, can't be updated, but if you access through the online course is automatically updated. And that's that. So definitely, if you haven't used Fusion, get on to that and start looking at that software. It's fantastic. And finally, just some of our data management titles. We have 4 Vault titles, and you can see they're all actually coming out very soon within the May to July timeframe, and we are working on those as we speak. Some additional titles that we've had in the past, we're still looking at updating, so the mold flow books are all coming. In addition, any certification review training guides as well for the professional exams are also on their way. Inventor and Autocad are actually getting set up at the printer very shortly. Those will be available by the end of the week or end of next week. And Civil will be out shortly as well. Revit is a little bit later just because it pulls a lot of material from some of the advanced books that aren't quite updated yet. So we will get that one out as soon as we can. And that's it.
Great. Thanks, Jennifer. Had a lot of great information there. So for those of you who may not be quite as familiar with us, probably, a lot of you are familiar with our formats, but I just wanted to go over them briefly. So we have all of our materials available in these formats, the hard copy student guides. We have the 8.5 by 11 coil-bound books, which are in the North American market, and then outside of that market, we have a slightly smaller version, 8.5 by 7, also coil-bound. We have ebooks. That's a great green alternative to the printed guide. We're finding more and more folks, sometimes they like a blend, both the hard copy and the ebook, or some prefer just to convert over just to the electronic version. We have the video enhanced version, as Jennifer was just mentioning, especially with Fusion. These books are the same ebook as our standard ebook, but they have videos embedded throughout the course. So it's a great add-on. It's a demonstration of the topics that are being covered, so it's an additional resource built into that great ebook format. Also, we've got Instructor Tools for most of our courses, and those typically include the answers to the questions. They will also have a timing guide for how long to spend on each section, and some of the select titles will also include a set of instructor presentation files. So if you're teaching, that's a nice tool to have on hand as well. And then lastly, we've got a digital site license program, and that is really a print-on-demand solution that's designed primarily for high-volume training situations. So it's just an alternative to either, buying books or having ebooks. You may be able to print it yourself. And then also, even those that are familiar with us may not really realize that we do have some additional services that we can provide with the staff that we have here. Our technical writers have done all kinds of documentation projects outside of the books that you may be familiar with. So they've created user guides from scratch. They've organized or edited existing materials. They can also create something, where they're putting best practices or product specifications into a great documentation package, and whether it's for yourselves or perhaps you have a customer that needs that type of project, we can work through you to help your customer do that. So we're not trying to, step in the middle. We'll be glad to work with you to help facilitate that. Our content can be customized in many ways, including incorporating your workflows or models, or reorganizing our content to make it more applicable to their needs. And finally, also, if you're authoring content yourselves and you would like a means to distribute it, please contact us. We can discuss options for making it available through our distribution system. And our contact information is listed here. If you need to reach us or would like to reach us, please follow us on Twitter. Corinne puts a lot of great information out there to get on the notices of our new releases as they're coming out and other news that we have. Sometimes we'll have special promotions. The 2018 release roadmap is now posted on the front page of our website, which is ASCENTed.com, and it's under the featured items section, which is on the right side, kind of in the corner there. And so I would recommend to watch there for updates as we move through the release cycle. So like I said, we will, the dates are subject to change, but also we'll make notices on there as we publish our titles so you know that they're ready and available. You can also access our blog from the home page as well. And just a reminder that we've got blog posts to include Q&A follow-up from the webinar series that we also offer. So that's a great way to hear directly from our developers and instructors. So again, from the ASCENT team, I just want to thank you all for your time.